Alright, welcome back to another race. This time we're doing something a little different. This is the TTG versus NSR event. So, for those who don't know, I am technically involved with esports racing. I'm part of the TTGA group. So, as part of that, come events like this every now and then. So, here we are for Silverstone, I suppose, against NSR. So, which is another league racing group. So. Anyways, end of qualifying. Very disappointing run here, to be fair. I thought I'd be a little bit higher up the grid. I did make some time back here in these last two corners, but I did think I'd be a little bit further up the field. But it's only good enough for 10th place in the end. So I'm starting on these tires, which is fine because this is a track where you don't really want to do anything other than softs and mediums.
Yes,
but yeah, we're going to try and see how this goes. And yeah, as usual, Joe is complaining about something. I don't know, for some strange reason. Anyways, it's pretty simple, softs to mediums. So just put the fuel in and be ready to rock and roll. I think I did change the front wing to 3.
Yeah, 3.6 for the win.
By the way, this won't be getting a no-com version of this. I don't think it really deserves it. So this is the only standalone thing you're getting from this. So yeah, I'm just looking at the strategy. Yeah, I'm not sure why I left all this in. There's nothing to say here. We've been around Silverstone before. We know the strategy. Yeah. Standard stuff. Anyways, here we go then. 5 red lights. And away we go. It's going to be a weird feeling because I'm not really fighting these guys. We're trying to achieve the best result for TTG as possible. But anyway, you get by Kiki and have to lift off a bit heading into turn 1, get the run on Conti. I seem to use a lot more of the track on the outside there in on the first lap. I'm not sure why. I've ended up on the grass a few times there, and I had an epic save in FTRL once, but still side by side with Conti there, and get a better run onto the Wellington Straight. So I'm going to go down the inside, basically, and try and kick on from there. So down the inside of Conti again. Not going to fight anyone from TTG too much. It's just the nature of it. So our objective is to beat NSR, not really each other. So, but I want to run the best race that I possibly can. So yeah, lap 1, fairly standard stuff. I made up of 2 spots there. Not a bad start, all things considered. My start's been better of late, to be fair. So, lap number 2, I think Joe had an incident with, I don't know who it was.
Fuck off.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, he's off, so that's a position we've gained. So, unfortunate for Joe, but alas, we move on to lap number 3. So I'm just behind, is that Marco? I'm not sure, but he gets on the grass, loses it. I was caught in 2 minds where to go there. I did eventually end up going to the right, which luckily just about worked out. That was a scary moment. Scary stuff indeed. And Conti ended up getting by me. I'm going to use this VSC to actually pit because we're so close to the pits.
Yeah, the
mediums will get to the end, as Sway is telling me here now.
Mediums.
He's helping us with this race. And so I'm going to go on the medium tires and go to the end of the race. Now they will be fairly worn, but I do think, because the pit lane's so long here, any extra time I can get in the pits here where everyone's held to a delta, I think is worth exploring. So I made a quick snap decision that this is what I was going to do. Now the VSC ended up ending about here, so I still thought I gained a significant amount of time, under these conditions, going through this very, very slow pit lane. So I still think this was the right thing to do. The only thing that is the problem though is that once DRS is enabled, and it will be enabled here, is it pulls everyone along. So if you're in a DRS train, you're going to be gaining more time. I think that was the case of what happened in front. So my advantage from this wasn't as big because I'm not benefiting from that DRS train in front. So we come out in clear air, get some good lap times in on these mediums. So moving on then to lap number 8. There's a few VSCs here and there. We'll cover the most important ones. Obviously, that one we just did there was more important. Conti then pits end of lap 8 and also lap 9. I did jump him, so he was ahead of me just before I pitted. I didn't gain as much of an advantage as I would have hoped, but I'm thinking he had a bit of DRS to help him along. I could be wrong, but lap number 10. Sorry, more people coming out of the pits. We're jumping a few people here. It's NSR Pepper, we'll just call him. Side by side on exit. I don't think I was fighting this guy beforehand, so I think I have gained a bit of time here. And yeah, side by side, heading down the Wellington Straight. I thought I was going to be squeezed a little bit there for a second, but I've got the DRS, so he has not. So I'm going to try and use this straight line speed to my advantage. I didn't use Rich or overtake too much, but again, he's going to hang out around the outside. comes into my line a little bit, whatever. I think I left the space, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I get a much better run out of Luffield and Woodcut here. So I'm going to send this move, a bit of overtake down the inside into Cops there. There we go. Again, I'm using overtake and Rich. I outdrag him. I've got the racing line. I'm ahead. And for some reason, he decided to leave his car in a space which was completely stupid to do so. I could have given him a bit more space, but at a certain point at that speed, if you're the car behind, eventually it falls on you to not have an accident. So I think he definitely should have got the hell out of Dodge there, especially at such a high-speed corner. Get the hell out of Dodge. I honestly don't know why he decided to leave his car there, but he got what he deserved, I'm not going to lie. And anyways, we move up to 4th with everyone pitching in front. So again, I know I could have left him a little bit more space, but at that speed, if that was me on the left-hand side, behind, you get the hell out of Dodge, because at that high speed, it's too easy to get for a misjudgment at that speed. So, or anything that happens at that speed. So, I don't know. He was just know when to back out, know when to accept that you've lost the position. He could have easily got me heading back up towards Stowe, because he would have had DRS So, I don't know. Just stupidity, I think. Anyways, in some regards, know when to get out of it, especially at that high speed. Lap 16, nothing really happened, and then a safety car came out. So I was stretching away from Mays and Conti. Chicken, Noisy, Tom, they ran away out the front. Tom ended up pitching here onto softs. Everyone else, a lot of people ended up pitching from behind as well, which initially worried me. But I shouldn't have had too much to worry about, to be fair. And now that I have the track position, you know, I think I'm in a good spot here. I've got protection in sorts between Mays and Conti, that anyone who's got to get to me has to get through them first. Not that they ram anyone off the road, but just I say protection, you know, that's the word I use. So yeah, standard stuff restart. My mediums are quite old, so these guys not only are quicker than me, but they have better tires. So it's to be expected that they'll run away. So you know, I'm just here to hold positions and get the best result for the team that I can. So. Moving on to lap number 20 onto 20. Just coming end of the lap 19 onto 20. Tom's already dispatched those guys on mediums, and I'm not going to fight this at all. So let him have the corner, turn in again. Know when to fight, know when to not fight. And you'll see this again in an upcoming video I'm doing for TTML for Canada. So coming up soon. Or sorry, FTRL Canada. Sorry. You'll see it coming up in a video for TTMO Russia, but I'm sure you'll see it in Canada as well. Lap 25, like these, I was able to use a bit more energy, but honestly, these mediums were still good. Like I did PBs for I think 3 consecutive laps. So there is one for 24, one for 25, and then last lap, I think I ended up doing this one as well. Yes, because I used basically the remainder of my energy, basically. So lap 26. End of the race. Very quiet second half in the end, and another PB to be had there. So good stuff. Pace was very good at the end there, and yeah, happy days. A good result there. P4 starting from P10. Again, didn't have to overtake a ton of people. You know, I had the strategy. I feel like there's still a good strategy to pit under that VSC, given how slow the pit lane is here. And as to why Pepper didn't just back out at that speed, you know, only he knows. Again, could I have given them more room? Yeah, probably. But at a certain point, when your car in front, you know, it's up to the other. There's a certain point where the other car should probably back out. So, yeah, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that whatsoever. I do not care. You know, I thought it was legit. I thought he should have backed out. But yeah, anyways, thanks very much for watching, and until next time.